started belly dancing when I was 16. I was very interested in Egyptology and archaeology in general. When I was a teenager, I wanted to be an archaeologist, and everything Egyptian made me excited. And when I heard about an Egyptian belly dance course starting near my home, I was very curious, and it was in the same dance school where I've been studying flamenco, and I wanted to continue flamenco, but the course was full. And then I realized, okay, this is the time for me to start the Egyptian belly dance. I wasn't sure what that meant exactly. I just knew that I was very curious about anything that's Egyptian. Also, it was advertised as, of course, as something very body positive, something about helping you to open up as a woman, to express yourself, to find a new tool for expression. And it all was quite exciting for me as a 16-year-old kid. I was pretty much into these things, and I felt this is just perfect for me. So I've been dancing before, different kinds of dances, like for kids, hobby dances, Rocky, jazz, little theater project. So dancing wasn't new, but when I went to my first belly dance class, it was kind of love for the first sight. With my first teacher, Tia, when I saw her dancing, she mesmerized me. She opened up like a whole new world. I felt like I'm lost. This is it. This is what I've been looking for. This is what I want to do. And it was really magical. The music was very touching, very it was like a magnet for me. Like I fell in love with the Middle Eastern music, and as well as the whole new world of movement expression. I've been dancing flamenco before, and I've tried other dances later on, but I always found belly dance to be incredibly free and beautifully honest. And I've decided to start it, and I started as a hobby, and in a few years time I was just going in and out because of my university studies, and I started to work as well as a journalist, so it was like part of my life. But then I decided to try to dedicate all my time to it. Let's see what happens. And that was like a long time ago already, like 10 years ago, and I still dedicate all my time to it. So that's how I started. My style is probably something like a result of who I am as a person, as a dancer, all my experiences, my thoughts, my feelings. So in this sense, it is unique, as you said, probably just as unique as everybody else's style. If you really think about finding the most genuine and honest way of expressing yourself, or finding a movement that reflects you, and trying to find ways that are a little bit different, a little bit more personal, of course using the dance vocabulary, I think it results to be unique. But also I also think that it's not only about your dance studies. Like I've studied, as I mentioned already, a lot of kids styles, and then there was like flamenco was more serious for a while, and then Argentine tango was also a big part of my life a few years, and contemporary and classical ballet as well. Most of them I've started after the belly dance, so they did influence me, and I've learned a lot from these other styles, especially watching other artists, other dance shows, other teachers creating with their vocabulary, with their language. It's really inspiring, and I did learn a lot and used a lot of things in my Oriental dance career, or in my way of teaching, or in my way of expressing myself on stage. But it was just part of it. Like it was not a very conscious process. I feel it was like more organic. Like anything I've learned, I've experienced, I try to involve in my belly dancing. I've tried to blend things, because sometimes I felt that's the way I can really express myself or be genuine to what I want to say. And I try to approach dance from the side of the story, the content, not really the physical or technical side, which are both are the same important, as, of course. But to me, to create, it's easier to start with myself. What do I think about this music? What do I feel about this music or this story, or what this style means to me? What do I want to create with it? So I think if like that, I kept my creation process always personal. It's also because of the other things I was interested in my life. So that's another thing I'm always saying, that it's important to learn and experience other dance styles, but it's also really important to be open for inspiration that's coming from anywhere or everywhere in the world, and just live, like, you know, find other things, either connected to art or not. But I was very much into poetry all my life. That's one thing I studied as well, literature, movies, books, a lot of interesting things like can pop up that at the end, like, you don't know how it can be connected to your dance, but at the end it's connected to who you are, and that is gonna be your dance style. It just radiates through. And yeah, I think that's how it happened. Everything I learned, I've seen, I experienced, I read, I thought was kind of blending in my dance, and I'm not keeping a boundary between who I am and who I want to represent on stage, which is sometimes tiring. And I'm not necessarily saying that it's like the best way, but that's how I like to do it. That's how I can be me. This is the way I like to dance. So that's how my style happened. Yes, I have a festival, Cairo Festival Budapest, since 12 years already, and it's an important part of my life. It's been such a journey. I've never really expected it to be as it is at the moment. Now we are having students from over 40 countries each year. Amazing artists and instructors are visiting us, and beautiful guest artists. I mean, the community is really wonderful, and I think that's my favorite part of it, and that's what I'm the most proud of. Let's say that I was able to connect these people, and building bridges between all those amazing artists and students and my city. It's really touching. It's I also believe in it as a very good platform for communication, because when you have possibility to meet your favorite teachers, artists, or your dance colleagues or friends personally, that always is a very good opportunity to exchange inspiration, ideas, answers, questions. You can share your feelings or your doubts. Or I believe it's a very, very important thing, especially nowadays, to be able to have such encounters like festivals, workshops, intensives, shows, anything that brings people together. And that's what I'm trying to focus on, that this festival must be like educative, but also bringing people together in other ways. And that's what seems like people also like about it, so they come back. And that's like the best feeling when the festival starts and I'm there on the first day and seeing all those faces that are coming back and greeting each other with love. And you know, a lot of memories were created, and it's a wonderful community, and I'm very lucky to have all those people around me who are part of it and help me to make it happen. It all started from a little, like, it was just a little idea. I never really planned to make a big festival. I just wanted to invite my favorite teachers to introduce them to my community. First one was Lubna Imam. When I met her in Egypt for the first time on her class in the first nightclub festival, I felt that something, she was like out of this world. Her passion and charisma and the love and the joy that moved her body. It was so genuine and so real, and I felt like this is what I want people to experience in my country. And then the next important encounter was with Ahmed Rafat, who was lovely and really disciplined and prepared and great teacher in folkloric styles. And that was also not very common yet in Hungary to have an artist, a teacher like that. So I decided, okay, let's try to invite them both and let's see what happens. I remember it was January when I decided, 2007, and the festival was the end of March 2007. So I wasn't really super prepared, but the intention was good. So I guess that was one of the reasons why it turned out to be really successful already for the first time, because of the choice of the artist, and also the enthusiasm and curiosity and dedication that was there from our side as me as organizer and my students who helped me. So I think it just clicked, and then it was really it turned out to be so good, so we just didn't want to stop it. So we kept continue. I was a little bit afraid to make it grow, but I tried it, like adding one teacher and another teacher more each year. And as I saw that the audience is also growing, then I felt, and also with my international travelings, through them I met a lot of people. I experienced a lot of other events. I learned. I kind of got a little more confident about being able to handle a bigger event, offering more opportunities for the local students and then international students who joined. So that's how it kept growing. And then I also always had like a new idea, like I want to do this, I want to try that, let's see that. So it was always just one step forward. I never really focused on what I want to reach or aim, but I was focusing on the next step and the next new thing and the next surprise, and I try to keep the focus on the same thing. I have it kind of like a compass to remember why I have started it, what I would like to offer, and what more I can offer to make it even more educative and like a safe place also, safe space to express, to connect. I'm really touched about the reaction of the people, and I hope for many more years.